What would you do if you saw Elvis Presley's ghost? Imagine the thrill, the goosebumps, the sheer mystery of encountering the spirit of a legend. For the family members closest to Elvis, this wasn't just a fleeting thought. It was something they claimed to have felt deep within the walls of Graceland. Some experiences were so vivid, so inexplicably real, that they sent chills down their spines, leaving them shaken and questioning reality. However, for one family member, the connection with Elvis's presence went beyond the occasional strange sound or eerie feeling. It grew into an experience so intense that they felt they had no choice but to leave Graceland behind. This haunting encounter, and others like it, would come to shape the way those closest to Elvis would remember him, not only as a beloved family member, but as a figure whose presence seemed to linger long after his passing. Stay with us as we unfold the spine-chilling details of these ghostly encounters, leaving you wondering what truly remains of Elvis Presley at Graceland. Number 5. Setting the scene. Graceland was more than just a home for Elvis Presley. It was his sanctuary, the place he returned to time and again, especially in the final years of his life. Here, in this stately mansion, surrounded by family and close friends, Elvis found both peace and inspiration. The house itself held memories of his career's peak and his quiet moments of reflection. As his health began to wane, Graceland became his retreat from the relentless spotlight and a place to explore his many interests, including a deep curiosity about the paranormal. Elvis's fascination with life beyond the veil wasn't a secret. He'd been known to discuss spiritual topics and even visited a local morgue out of sheer intrigue. This lingering curiosity would later fuel the mystery of his connection to Graceland, even after his passing. Among those closest to him was his cousin, Billy Smith, who had a special bond with Elvis and was more than just family. He was part of Elvis's inner circle, his confidant and friend. Billy knew Elvis's moods, his quirks, and even his fascination with otherworldly matters. As someone who spent countless hours at Graceland, Billy's memories of Elvis were woven into every corner of the house. For him, Graceland wasn't just the king's castle. It was where Elvis's spirit was most alive. After Elvis's passing, Billy continued to visit the mansion, perhaps to feel closer to his late cousin. But as he and others would soon find out, Graceland held on to more than just memories. There was something there that felt almost alive, an energy that seemed to defy explanation. Not long after Elvis's death, strange happenings began to stir within the walls of Graceland. Family members and close friends reported feeling unusual sensations, as if they weren't entirely alone. Subtle noises echoed in the stillness, sudden chills brushed across their skin, and odd occurrences left them unsettled. It was as though Elvis himself was reaching out, leaving his mark in small, inexplicable ways. The eerie events escalated to the point where some, like Billy, could no longer ignore them. What was it about Graceland that kept drawing them back, making them feel as if the king himself was still watching over them? These unsettling experiences would become the stories that haunted the family and kept them wondering about the mysterious connection between Elvis and his beloved home. But what happened one night was so chilling, so unforgettable, that it left everyone speechless. Number 4. First paranormal encounter. Billy's experience at Graceland was nothing short of surreal, haunted by moments that defied all explanation. He vividly recalls the day he heard Elvis's voice echo through the stillness, calling his name. As he passed near Elvis's office window, the voice came clear and unmistakable, sending a chill down his spine. It was Elvis's familiar tone, the same one that had once filled rooms with life and laughter. But this time, it was different. A voice from somewhere beyond, something Billy could feel as much as he could hear. He stopped in his tracks, frozen by the realization of what he was hearing, unable to brush it off as a mere memory or trick of the mind. The voice compelled him to look up at that window time and again, an eerie ritual that felt as if it reached out to him from another world. Every time he gazed up at the window, he was overcome by a strange sense that someone or something was there, watching, waiting. That window became a source of tension for Billy, filling him with an unease he couldn't shake. It was as if the air itself grew heavier, carrying with it a presence he didn't dare to question but simply couldn't ignore. Each look at the window left him feeling that he wasn't alone, as if Elvis himself was reaching out, leaving a part of his spirit imprinted on that place forever. After countless nights of feeling that ghostly presence and hearing that unmistakable voice, Billy knew he couldn't stay. The weight of those experiences had become too much to bear. Each encounter left him with a deeper feeling of unrest, a sense that he was intruding upon something sacred, something that belonged only to Elvis. And so, with a heavy heart, he decided to leave Graceland for good, to step away from the memories and the echoes that lingered there. But even as he left, the feeling followed him, a haunting reminder that wouldn't fade. And just when he thought he'd left it all behind, he received a sign that pulled him right back into the mystery he thought he'd escaped, one that would change everything. Number 3. A chilling story from Danny Smith. Danny's experience started with an ordinary day that quickly turned extraordinary. While going about his routine, he decided to play some music to fill the quiet around him. As he hit play on his CD player, he didn't expect to hear Elvis's voice suddenly echoing through the room. It wasn't even the CD he had put in. The machine seemed to have skipped to one of Elvis's songs on its own. The instant those familiar notes filled the air, Danny felt goosebumps rise on his arms. There was something so unsettling yet magnetic about the moment, as if Elvis's spirit had chosen that exact time to break the silence and make his presence known. What made the moment even more chilling was how the CD had somehow defied explanation. Danny hadn't set it to Elvis's track. In fact, the song wasn't even supposed to be on that playlist. Yet here it was, playing out of nowhere, with no logical reason for the shift. He checked the CD player, trying to find a reason for the song's appearance, but everything seemed perfectly in order. The randomness of it gnawed at him, leaving him wondering if there was more at play than just a mechanical glitch. It was as if Elvis himself had chosen to reach out from beyond, using the music as a bridge between worlds, sending Danny a message that he couldn't quite decipher but felt deep in his core. Then, just as Danny was starting to shake off the strange event, he felt it, the unmistakable sensation of a hand on his shoulder. The touch was firm, yet gentle, as if someone were trying to get his attention. Startled, he jumped, spinning around to find nothing. No one was there, yet the feeling of that touch lingered, sending a chill down his spine. In that instant, he was flooded with an overwhelming sense of presence, one that filled him with both awe and fear. The sensation left him reeling, and as he tried to process what had just happened, he couldn't shake the feeling that Elvis wasn't quite gone, that somehow he had crossed a boundary and found a way to make himself felt. But what happened next left Danny with even more questions as he came face to face with something he never expected to find. Number 2. Building the mystery. Elvis's fascination with the paranormal was a thread woven deeply into the fabric of his life, a quiet passion that many never realized he held. From a young age, he was drawn to the mysteries of the spiritual world, often speaking about his belief in forces beyond the physical realm. Whether it was reading about the afterlife, consulting spiritual advisors, or engaging in quiet moments of reflection, Elvis seemed to sense there was something more to this world than met the eye. This curiosity only grew as he rose to fame, with whispers of his belief in the power of unseen energies and forces that he believed were guiding him. Many close to him wondered if this profound interest hinted at a connection he would someday find with the other side, an imprint of his spirit left behind long after he was gone. While others may have enjoyed Halloween for its fun costumes and spooky decorations, Elvis's interests went far beyond the surface-level thrills of the holiday. For him, the supernatural was more than just a seasonal thrill. It was a lifelong journey into the unknown. Halloween may have brought with it dark and ghostly tales, but it was the real mysteries of life and death, the unexplained and the paranormal that captivated Elvis. This fascination only added to the mystique surrounding him, creating a sense that perhaps, in some way, he would find a way to linger in the world he had never truly left behind. Could it be that Elvis, so intrigued by the supernatural in life, had indeed found a way to keep his spirit alive, leaving traces of his presence in unexpected ways? The answer to that question remains a haunting mystery, one that continues to draw people in and fuel the stories that surround the king to this day. Number 1. The climax. Family reflects on Elvis's spirit. Priscilla Presley and other close family members have often shared subtle hints about feeling Elvis's presence, as if he never fully left. For Priscilla, there are moments when she feels his spirit around her, particularly in quiet, familiar spaces that once held their laughter, memories, and shared dreams. She describes feeling a certain warmth in these moments, a comfort that reminds her of Elvis's energy. Other family members have experienced these same inexplicable sensations, as though he's lingering just beyond reach, watching, guiding, and maybe even protecting them. It's as if, despite the passing years, his presence has remained woven into the very fabric of their lives, a gentle reminder that the king, in some way, is still with them. As loved ones hold on to memories and consider what closure might truly mean, many wonder if Elvis's spirit has found peace. Could it be that he's watching over Graceland, the home he cherished, ensuring it remains a beacon for those who loved him? Perhaps his spirit finds solace in knowing his legacy lives on, with family and fans keeping his memory alive in a place so deeply connected to his identity. Graceland has become more than just a mansion. It's a living symbol of Elvis's impact, filled with his dreams, his music, and his enduring influence. Maybe, just maybe, his spirit is at peace, standing guard over the life he built and the legacy he left behind, content to watch over those who continue to carry his story forward. We'd love to hear what you think. Do you believe Elvis's presence still lingers at Graceland, watching over his family and fans? Or do you think his spirit has moved on, leaving only memories behind? Share your thoughts, stories, and opinions in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and see how many of us feel the same connection to the king.